Guys, there's too much happening. I just quit my job. Just that, I actually just signed my first ever independent long-term contract as a freelance model. So let's get right into it. How did I get into modeling? How did I become an activations manager? What is the standard rate in these industries? Morning, guys. Hi. I just woke up and I remembered that highly requested via Instagram is my modeling stuff, and today I actually have a really cute but short shooting day. So I'm gonna take you guys with me so that you guys get to experience what I do, and then I'll answer your questions about modeling stuff. So let me get myself together and then we'll talk in a bit, okay? Okay, welcome to my humble abode. The truth is, I'm a student. I live in student accommodation. There's nothing fancy about my life. And also, please don't come for me. And my friend asked me the other day, why are YouTubers always apologizing? And really and truly, I don't know why we always apologize, because this is real life. This is who we really are. But anyways, don't come for me for sleeping in like an oversized crew neck. This is what I sleep in, because the truth is, honestly, I don't really own pajamas because I hardly sleep with clothes on. I'm only sleeping with something on now because of winter and it's cold here. Otherwise, really and truly, I don't. Also, am I the only one who literally adds ice to every hot beverage? Like, I can't. I just can't. So this is usually the time where I just chill. I have my lemon water after I wake up. Within an hour after I wake up, I take my contraceptives. As I did mention in my other video that I am currently on contraceptives for both obviously prevention reasons, but mostly for just my skin, because it's really been great at combating my acne. But there's so much going on, and I just thought, let me use this time to just have a little bit of a catch-up session with you guys. Guys, there's too much happening. I just quit my job. If you didn't know, I'm doing my final year as a PR student at CBET, and as part of my learning program, I have to I have to do an internship, and I've been interning at a company for the past 5.5 months, and I just quit my job. And not just that, I actually just signed my first ever independent contract, long-term contract as a freelance model. Guys, I'm just sorry, I've been going through this for the past couple of weeks in my mind, and it's so insane to me that I'm a freelancer. I've never been signed under an agency, and I've been looking at possibly signing under an agency, but I was just like, do I really want to do it? And here comes this contract, this amazing once in a lifetime contract, and my God, I just signed my biggest bag yet. Like, we're living cheap. But anyways, we'll go into that a little later, as obviously I will be just doing another sit down with you guys, and we'll be talking about all things modeling, all things promo work, and I will be going in studio briefly, and I'll take you guys along with me. So let me just go make my breakfast, get ready, because I'm supposed to leave in like an hour, and the studio is actually not far from me. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Tell me what you see. Hi, I'm vlogging. Morning, guys. Afternoon. Hi. Sorry, I'm vlogging. Hi, super favorite person. Hi. Hi.
Here we go.
Thank
I'm
you,
going to
Charles.
get you your forms.
That's my contract.
Got you, got you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I just need someone to witness and then you'll
I
sign.
need to sign and I'll get one of the producers to do it.
Chelsea, I am shooting a vlog and people want to know how to get into stock modeling. Do you have any tips? Actually, let me turn my camera around so that Chelsea can give some tips. Chelsea is super nervous, so don't judge her. She's usually sweet, she is. Okay, Charles, quick question. Okay, give us an intro.
Hello everyone, I'm Chelsea. I'm the production manager at Yuri Arcus Productions.
Cute. Okay, and then if people want to start shooting with your Arcus, what do they have to do and how do they get in touch with you guys?
So all you have to do is email castings@arcus.com and we'll invite you for an open casting.
But how often do you guys actually invite people?
We usually do castings like twice a month. So it's
Okay. Okay, great stuff. Thank you, Chal.
Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different. You must be made for me. Patience is never thin. In and out, in and out, in and out. Arguing, trifling, difficult. Baby, more. I don't know why you love me. You got it bad for me, babe. I'm not so glad that I can have this, baby. Nobody else true. Nobody else made this move. Nobody else had a clue what I could do, what I could do. The right amount of love, right amount of trust, right amount of dick. Right amount of slapping me up, think that I'm going to fit.
One eternity later.
Hi guys, I hope you guys are good and I hope that you guys have been having a great August. It is my birthday month and I know I've been very MIA. And honestly, there's been so much happening. And as you've seen in the beginning of this video, I am officially unemployed and there's been so much happening. I've attended a wedding, it was my birthday, I've been working, and I've also just been working on a few projects because obviously now I need to just make sure that I kind of use my time wisely. Also, I'm in the last part of my academic career. I'm in my final year, so I'm about to finish the year and there's so many submissions that I've been just busy with, so it's been crazy. And the funny thing is I actually shot this video at the end of July, the beginning part, so I'm only getting a chance to sit down and actually complete it now because what I wanted to do was to just do a Q&A session where I answer all the questions that I generally get whenever I post anything that has to do with my modeling or anything that has to do with the promo work that I do. Because if you did not know, well, for those that follow me on Instagram and have known me for a very long time, I've been in the promotion scene for a very long time, since high school actually, and I am currently a activations manager for a promotions company, a promotion and activations company. So those are my side hustles / well, now they're my full-time hustles, the modeling thing and also the activation work. So before we get right into it, you know the drill. Don't forget to subscribe to this video. Don't forget to leave me a comment, any other questions that you'd like to ask based on the things that we've discussed today. I'm more than happy to answer in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share with others, just so that they can also get the information and maybe it may be able to help someone that is on your timeline. So let's get right into it. Okay, so because obviously I use my phone to shoot and I also use my phone for everything else, I've written down all the questions and any other information that I've managed to collect in the meantime, because I try to do a little bit of research for you guys just so that I can make this as informative as possible. So I'm going to go through the questions, and if I keep looking down, please don't mind me. It's just that the questions are on my lap and that is where I'll actually be looking in order to read out the question and also be able to answer it for you. Okay, Sha. Okay, without wasting any time, let's get right into it. And what I will do is, for all the questions that I pulled up, so I did a poll on my Instagram, a Q&A actually, and I asked people to just like drop any questions that they would like me to answer with regards to the modeling and the promo work that I usually do. And all these questions that I've listed down here are questions that I got there, and I will try obviously and just answer any other questions that have been asked before that I think would be useful, well, that I think the information rather would be useful for you guys, and I will answer for both modeling and promo work. And the most frequently asked question actually was, how did I get into modeling? Well, I'll also say / promo work. And I'll start with the promo work because that's what I started with. That's how I cracked into the industry. I've always worked for as long as I can remember. I've always worked. Do you understand? I think I started my first job in grade 10, and I mean before that I was like selling food from my room. Like in boarding school, those that went to high school with me will know I used to sell boerewors rolls, and during the week I used to sell, from the weekend I'd sell boerewors rolls, and during the week I'd sell hot dogs at school. And that is how I am. I've just always been independent. I've always just loved money, and I've never been afraid to work for it. Anyways, so without going off on a tangent about things that have nothing to do with this, the first gig that I landed was a score promoter gig. It was with Kenny. I'd known Kenny for a couple of years, and he got a score contract because he's a DJ. He got a score contract where he was just like promoting score and just punting score all over, and basically he approached me to be one of his promo girls, and I was like, I bet, I've always wanted to get into this industry. And then the first actual agency that I signed with, or promotion company that I signed with, was Unlimited Promotions and Events, and that was the first one. And for me, and that's how I literally cracked into the industry, because then I was 18 and I could actually work in clubs and I could work with alcohol basically, because I was now of legal age. And for me, that's how I started. And whenever I would work with a girl, because most of the girls that I got put with, Brenda would always put me with someone who had at least like worked with the company a little bit longer and could actually like guide me, assist me, and just like make sure that I'm doing the right thing, right? And now, guys, and this is something that I'm gonna touch on at the end, the way that I got gigs was literally by asking. I'd ask the girls that I worked with, I'd ask bartenders that we would get booked with, I'd ask everybody to recommend companies, give me contacts of managers. But anyways, we'll get to that at the end. And then modeling was a little bit different. So my cousin, shout out to Popsy. Nas Pops is actually the reason why my modeling career is booming. She was the source. She was the person who actually put me on. She saw a tweet about a casting happening for a shoot, and I was just like, you know what? I want to get into the industry, and I mean, what do I have to lose? So I went and I went to a casting, and when I went to that casting, I just did like standard stuff. This was late 2018, if not early 2019. And I went during my lunch break, and then took, the standard casting stuff. So pictures, profile, all of that. And then I left. I didn't get that shoot, which was fine. I even forgot about the company because months went by and I didn't hear anything from them. And then late 2019, they contacted me and asked me if I was available for a shoot. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then I literally went, and then after I went, they shot me. So the crazy thing is, I actually went there with the wig on, and I'd cut my hair. So while they were doing my makeup, they pushed back my wig, and then the director actually noticed like blonde streaks coming from the side of my hair, and he was like, what is that blonde? I was like, oh, sorry, I have short blonde hair underneath, but it's fine. Like when you fix the wig, you actually won't see it. And it was like, oh really? Let me actually see if you don't mind. I took off the wig, and it was like, there is no way I'm shooting you with a wig on when you have such amazing, like such a beautiful look. Do you understand how golden your look is right now in the industry? And that's how it started. So this blonde hair is actually my money maker. Hence, most of the time when I'm shooting, you always see me with the blonde hair because it's kind of my money maker. I'm not saying cut your hair. I'm just saying it's my specific money maker. What do you need to become a model / promoter? So let's start with the promotion part of it. And I just want to get right into it without even beating about the bush, because they're not going to tell you this. In promotions, sex sells. And they're not going to tell you this. But instead, what you will see is that they're not going to book you if you don't fit their idea of what their ideal promo girl looks like. Sex sells. So body wise, small, medium is literally the max. So usually you need to be pretty petite, especially if you're going to be doing alcohol activations in clubs and kindawo ezinjalo, you know. Your body is your first selling point. Second thing is your cleanliness. Third thing, and probably one of the most important ones as well, makeup. You need to be able to do your makeup. And when I say do your makeup, I'm not talking about just like a little, I'm talking about face beads. I'm talking about full face beads with lashes. You understand? Full face beads. So that is something that you need. It's a standard. They're not going to tell you, but you'll just see that they're not going to book you if you don't fit the criteria in terms of what their ideal promo girl is. Then with modeling, with the type of modeling that I do, so I do mainly stock image modeling. And that's a little bit more flexible because with stock images, they try to look for everyday looking people. So it literally ranges. I mean, I've seen people from all walks of life. So that's a little bit more flexible, but cleanliness, just be clean, look decent. Whatever your hair needs to be well maintained. Usually nails for ladies need to be kept short. I mean, if this is the max, this is the max I'll go when it comes to my nails. Okay, next question is how to create a modeling portfolio if you want to get into the industry or if you're already in the industry. So with promotions, you don't need a portfolio. You just need basically a clean picture or a clear picture of yourself. So a ID size picture, well, this up close, with your face clearly showing and with a full face of makeup. They generally don't care what your skin underneath the makeup looks like, as long as the makeup shows, but it can pop. Do you understand? And then also a full body, because they want to see your body. Like I said, sex sells. Sorry, man, my ring light doesn't work, so I'm trying to just finesse. Full body and half size picture, and then they'll obviously ask for your sizes. Modeling, I would recommend that you get a photographer, mainly because they have experience in the industry. It doesn't have to be someone expensive. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just a photographer and a clear background. Doesn't even have to be a studio. And the other thing, if you get a photographer, they usually can be able to suggest just basic looks, and some of the times they can even bring styling for you, help you rent out styling for just the standard looks that you would need to show versatility in your portfolio. But if you also don't have then the funds to be able to source out a photographer, even an entry-level photographer, then I would suggest that you do some research in terms of just watch some YouTube videos. I am a freelancer, and the companies I've worked for have either seen my previous work from another person that I've worked with, or they have it's someone that I met in the industry while working, or they created portfolio for me themselves. So I don't actually have a modeling portfolio, but I am actually working on creating one. Yeah. How did I become an activations manager? This is obviously specific to my promo work. So I work for Lense, and crazy thing, Lee and I met in 2019 December. I was working at a different activation, and we were just there to Instagram the place and Instagram the moment and just bring a vibe. So we were given swimsuits and we're chilling by the pool, and this was at 59 Orange, and she was there working or just checking out the location for another activation, and she spotted me and she called me to the side. We spoke, and she was like, hey, I'd really love you to work for my company. I'd like to book you for a gig soon if you don't mind, if you're interested. We exchanged contacts, and that's how I started working with her. And then this was 2018. Fast forward 2019, I worked for her the whole December. 2020 came, and then by the end of 2020, I was just like, I feel like I've outgrown this whole modeling thing, and honestly, I don't see myself growing or going further. Not modeling, promotion thing. I don't see myself going further with it, and at this point, I definitely think I've reached the end of the road. I sent her like my exit message, and I was like, because we had developed such a great relationship, I didn't just want to go MIA. I sent her a message, and she was like, I definitely value you. I feel like you just bring such an amazing energy to the team, and I feel like you've grown, and I just feel like I would love to grow with you if you're still interested in working within the industry. My clients love you. You have such a great relationship with them, and I'm looking to expand. Well, this is her. She's looking to expand, and she offered me the promotion activations manager role, and I was more than happy to take it. And to be very honest, I mean, it's been great, and I get now to work closely with clients because obviously I'm a manager, and it's great for me because I feel like, because I was a promoter, I feel like as a manager, I'm really a great manager. Ask my promoters, they'll tell you, because I know like what it feels like to be on the other side, and I know what kind of manager I would have loved to work with. So I always try to come from that standpoint. It is also difficult because you also now have to separate yourself from being the girl who was a promoter to being now the activation manager. You can't just be nice because, oh, I was a promoter. No. You have to be a boss now. Is the company you do promo work for currently hiring? I believe Lee is always looking for, and I'll speak for Lee because I work for her and I work with her. She is always looking for new promo girls. In terms of activations manager, it's not as simple, but it's also very simple. I think follow her page. I'll drop it here. Follow her page. She always advertises, and on there you'll be able to get her contact. I'll also try and link more information. I'll link the profile in the description box, and just send her a DM and ask. Doesn't hurt. I mean, sometimes even if you're not looking, if somebody approaches you and they just fit, you will make space. And I feel like that's just a lot of the time, that's just how the industry works. Like, or they keep you in mind for when they are hiring, and you become the first person that they think of, So never be discouraged just because someone says, oh no, I'm currently not hiring. Well, what is the standard rate in these industries? So I'll start with promo work. I don't know what the standard rate right now is. But when I was a promoter, the standard rate was anything from 100 to 300 Rand an hour. And this is alcohol promotions. In-store activations don't pay as much. I know there was a company that used to pay people 40 Rand an hour, which is ridiculous. Yes, I'm signing up for it, yes, but like when you put out that rate out there with your chest, what are you actually expecting from me? And I feel like a lot of the time, these industries actually exploit newcomers, people who come in who just want a big break, who just want exposure. And then for modeling, also 200 to, with modeling, the numbers don't end. Like, you could literally make 5K in a day. You could make, other people get flown out. Like, I had a gig where an ad where I got flown out. They booked my place and they actually paid me really well last year, which I'm also really grateful for. But yeah, like, don't sell yourself short, especially if they come to you and they ask you for your rate. Don't oversell yourself, especially if you don't have as much experience, but don't also sell yourself short because these companies have the money to pay, especially if they're asking you for your rate. How do you balance everything? Honestly, how do I balance everything? I don't think I have a good balance of everything. My thing is I just need to get shit done, to be very honest. She looks so good. My lights is gonna be very finicky because, like I said, my ring light stopped working, so we're just using natural lights. I actually have to wrap this up because I need to shoot a self-tape and send it for a casting that I can't attend because I have a shoot. Anyways, tips on how to land. So the next one, another one that was asked quite often, and I wanted to say this for the end, tips on how to land more gigs. Okay, so like I said, for promo work, make sure that you look good. Even for modeling, make sure that you look good, guys. You are a model. Your body is what lands you gigs, and it's superficial and whatever you want to say. If you want something philosophical, go study. Yes, this is not one of those things. Do you understand? And as flexible as the stock image part of things, or modeling rather, is, it's not that flexible. Like you just have to make sure that you take good care of yourself, right? And then network. When you land that casting, when you get invited for a casting, network. I do not know how much more I can emphasize this. Network. Your next employer, the next person who might put you on or recommend you for a gig is someone you might be shooting with, someone who's there. Ask what agency they. Don't be afraid to ask people. If they don't want to tell you, then they don't want to tell you. But people know that this industry, especially when you're freelancing, this industry is you get what you get by asking type of industry. Do you understand? You put yourself out there. You ask people. How do you ask people when you go to castings? Talk to people. Like Teta. Put yourself out there. How did you get in? What do you think I need to do? Are you a freelancer? Are you this? Are you this? What agencies have you worked with? Who would you recommend? Do you understand? And also, be nice. Like, be a pleasant person to be around. People get there, they're snobbish. I remember a girl who is really a great girl, but she thought too much. Like, she really took herself too seriously. Do you understand? She's been in the industry for a little bit longer, but she took herself too seriously, and this could have been a nice side bag for her, because at that time she wasn't getting mainstream modeling gigs. But she was such a bitch because she thought she was all that, and she literally never got booked again. Because hi Sana, she was just demanding too much. And it's like, I understand, you know your worth, but at the same time, sometimes relax. Be nice. Speak to photographers. Do you understand? Network with photographers. You may not get booked for another like standardized shoot, but maybe that photographer branches out and they join another company, or they go on their own. They'll remember you. Do you understand? They'll remember you and be like, oh my God, I worked with Lwethu and she was so pleasant on set, so easy to work with. She's also pretty on top of all of that. Let me actually hit her up. Also, when you're starting out in the industry, like for example with stock image, with stock modeling, a lot of the times they get in new intake, and that new intake gets to shoot a lot because they need to show that they can shoot in different types of categories, you know, and different themes. If you're pleasant to work with and you talk and you put yourself out there, I'm not saying be all over the place, but I'm just saying be memorable. And the best way for you to be memorable, your pretty face will get you so far, but people remember the conversations. People remember your aura, you know, how you are with people, how you blend and interact with people, you understand? Talk, so that when they get independent shoots and they need to book models, you're top of mind. You're here. They think, oh yes, I worked with her. She was actually so much fun. She brings this amazing aura, and people remember. And I think for me, that is one of the things that have actually worked for me. Like the fact that people remember my vibe and they're like, I want to work with her. Let me actually book her again. And even if sometimes you don't get selected for a shoot, they'll put you forward for someone else's shoot when they're looking for something that you may fit the portfolio for. And then last but not least, I'm just going to go through some of the modeling companies or agencies rather, and promo companies that I've listed, that I've worked with, or that I've heard about, or that people have recommended to me, or that like I know based off like the people that I've worked with, they've maybe signed with these modeling agencies, whatever it is in between. So with modeling companies, I'll start with stock. I've worked with Uralkas. I work with Uralkas still very interactively. They're my favorite. They're great starting points because of the fact that they're a big company. So therefore there's a lot more shoots that you can get booked for, so you can make a lot more money with them. And because they're a big company, they have different themes, which means that you can get to do so many things within the industry, which also then allows you to get exposed to different things. Yeah. And then the Limes work, I've worked with them, amazing company. Actually, the book cover that I did, the book cover that that I landed for one of my shoots, I did a vlog on it a few vlogs ago. The owner of the company was the director for that shoot, Emil, love him so much. And then Yin and Yang Management, it's another company, really great. Dalmain actually runs it, and she's amazing. Shot some amazing things, and she's actually recommended me for so many gigs. And you see, guys, when you're pleasant, when you're memorable, people recommend you, even if it's not for their company, but when somebody else in the industry, because these people talk. And the same way that when you're pleasant, you win. When you are not pleasant to work with, you also lose, because people in the industry talk. And then also just other companies who do like a whole lot of like different things in terms of just like the type of work that you can get, stills as well as like video and ads with them. My friend Ned, 20 Model Management. Ella 360 is more for influencer stuff, and alignment management is more for brand things, so more on the influencer stuff, but I listed them as well. Organic Management, One League Agency, and Boss Models. Those are just a few. There's a whole lot more, but you need to do your research as well. Also, that's another thing that I wanted to touch on. Like, when it comes to these things, you need to do your research. You can't rely on what other people are going to tell you. They can only give you so much information, and that's all based on their own experiences. But for you to be able to get the maximum in terms of just like the maximum knowledge, you need to put in your own research. And a lot of the time I've noticed that people don't want to do their own research. People want you to do everything for them, and then they just say, oh, okay, and then you tell them to like, this would work for you, they try what work for you, and then if it doesn't work for them, they come back to you, oh, I did that, it didn't work. I didn't say it was gonna work. I didn't say it was a foolproof plan, or like that it was gonna work in the exact way that I told you it worked for me. But all I'm saying, this is how it works. It's just a suggestion. So I want you guys to also use this as that, just me suggesting and me just like giving you guys a guideline, and then whatever you take from this, you'll use as a guideline to kind of finesse and move your way around the industry. And I hope that the information is actually very insightful. And then Promo Works, Lingelosi, Boss Activations, Nash Brands, Tradeway, Veritas Promotions, and also Sozala. I know Sozala's been around for a very long time. Unlimited, but I don't know if they're still around. They've been around for a very long time. Exposure, I worked with Exposure for a very long time. And yeah, like guys, I really hope that you found this information insightful, and I wish you all of the best. I'm also still learning every day. I'm also still trying to put myself out there. I mean, once I land my big whale, my big gig, I will come back and do an updated video for you guys. But for now, this is everything that I've been able to gather, and I think would be like good information for you to use to start out. But Google's your friend. Google exactly what you want, understand? And when picking an agency, you need to take your time. I'm not with an agency, but from the things that I've heard and I've gathered, take your time. Make sure that the agency, you do research about the agency. If you can, find models that have actually worked with the agency. Go on their Instagram page, go on their website, click on the different models, and look at the models who you think best align with the type of direction that you want to go in, and as well as that align with your look, and see the type of work that agency has been able to get for those models. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to sign with a model agency that's big and then you end up just being a number to them, and they don't prioritize you, and then you feel like you're not a priority, and you actually get discouraged because you're not getting any work. So it's very important to do that research. Make sure that they align. Speak to them, because at the end of the day, Jeff always says your agent is working for you, not the other way around. They're getting gigs for you so that they can get paid and so that you can get paid. So make sure that you speak to them and you let them know, who do you want to work with? What do you want to do in the industry? What are your goals with this gig? And even with promos, tell your manager, this is what I want. I have a certain goal and a target, and I have a certain goal and a target, and I would love you to prioritize me, you know? And that means when you want to be prioritized, you need to avail yourself. Do you understand? When there's castings, you go. Whenever the more castings you go to, the more you get prioritized because they know that you want this. And you'll land one. Don't worry about landing it. Just show up. Do you understand? Show up and be ready. And and a good agent will keep recommending you. A good activations manager or a good promo company will keep booking you for gigs. And that's how you get ahead. And when you're there, you put yourself out there. You make sure that the company that you're representing looks good. But in the meantime, while you do that, you also make sure that you put yourself out there. You know, like this, especially as a freelancer. I mean, when you're working with an agent, you don't have as much leeway. Because as a freelancer, talk. That's like speaking to people, exchange contacts. That is how you get ahead. That is how you get booked. I can't stress this enough. But guys, yes, that brings us to the end of this video, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope you guys found the information insightful. Don't forget to leave a comment down below if you have any other questions that you'd like me to answer, or anything you'd like me to delve a little bit deeper in. I will also try and do a Q&A session on my Instagram that I will leave on Instagram specifically. Maybe I'll go through the same questions and do a live and then just leave it there, just so that people can revert back to it in the future if they need anything else answered, or they just need to use it as a reference. And I'll just drop my Instagram here, but it is also in my description box. So without keeping you guys here any longer, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment and share it, because you never know who might actually need this information. Thank you so much for supporting me.